Hello, this is Goodbye. I'm Puffy. Today we will talk about four contents: racial discrimination, human rights, police brutality, and freedom of the press. What is racial discrimination? Racial discrimination is the discrimination about race, ancestry, ethnicity, skin color, hair texture, or more. Let's talk about some examples from crime freedom. In crime freedom, they mainly talk about the segregation policy that happened in South Africa. At the beginning of the movie, we can see that the black houses are all destroyed by the whites. That can indicate the political policy of apartheid enforced strict racial segregation, oppressing and controlling black South Africans while benefiting white South Africans. Second, Steve Biko's death is the phenomenon of the abuse of power. Biko has died from severe beatings and torture by members of the South African Security Police. He sustained serious head injuries in prison. At first, the authorities claimed that Biko was died from a hunger strike, but the evidence shows that is not the truth. And I want to talk about the comparison of discrimination between Taiwan and abroad. First is the acceptance. In Taiwan, our government have supports the new immigrants like allowance, education, health insurance, or more. And I think we all respect people in Taiwan, even though he or she is a foreigner or what. But for abroad, I think some Western countries have open attitude toward the new immigrants, but some of them might exclude those new immigrants because of their nationality or more. They are concerned that new immigrants might bring bad effects to their country. For example, the rising unemployment. And for the group, I think in Taiwan has diverse kind of groups, and also we have a lot of races. So a lot of people in Taiwan have already get used to the diversity of society. But for some Western countries, I think that have more kind of races than Taiwan. But although they live in a country that has diverse races, but some discrimination are still exist. My opinion, I think racial discrimination is a harmful action. It happens in various ways, including individual prejudice, unfair treatment, and maybe more. Though the world is making progress into a peaceful world without any violence, I think there are still some challenges.
Hello everyone, I'm Cynthia. Today I want to talk about human rights. So, what is human rights? Human rights refer to the basic rights and freedoms that all human beings are entitled to from birth, regardless of race, gender, nationality, religion, language, or any other status. These rights are intended to protect the dignity and worth of every individual, allowing them to live freely and with dignity. And we read a book. It's called Cry Freedom. Cry Freedom. So here are the examples of human rights in Cry Freedom. This man on the left side, it's Biko. Biko was arrested and imprisoned many times by the authority for his public opposition to apartheid police and advocacy of the Black civil rights movement. He was mistreated and tortured while in police custody, causing severe brain damage. Doctor suggests him go to the hospital to treat his injuries, but police refuse out of fear he might escape. He was eventually thrown into the bed of a prison van, where the vampiro aggravated his brain injuries and led to his death. This is a serious violation of their basic right to life. And now let's look at this picture. Is the news talk about human rights. On the 35th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square incident, the Chinese government has intensify its crackdown on commemorative activities, leading to the arrest of numerous participants. Victims' families continue to be denied fair treatment. This action are widely viewed as serious violation of freedom of speech and assembly. So, the end, I want to talk about my opinion on human rights. I believe that human rights are the foundation of everything. Everyone has the right to have their own opportunities. I hope more and more people will pay attention to this issue and be willing to start improving themselves. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about police brutality. What is police brutality? Police brutality refers to the excessive use of force by police in the process of law enforcement, causing physical and physiological injuries to the arrested person to a certain extent. Police brutality in crime freedom. First, in the movie, Biko was discriminated against because of his different color. He was imprisoned for promoting black and white should live together and equality of human rights. In jail, police further being beat, kicked, and tortured Biko to death. This is very serious police brutality. Then, when people took to the streets to protest, the police opened fire on the people and even used tear gas and other highly lethality weapons to drive away people, and this caused most people get hurt and even dead. Police brutality right now, the closest and biggest police brutality to us cannot but mention the anti-extradition movement launched by Hong Kong in 2019. In this action, students took to the streets to protest for their demands. At the beginning, no violent conflicts broke out, but after a few months, the police began violent law enforcement and use of rubber bullets and high-pressure water jets to suppress the public were openly carried out in front of the news media. In my conclusion, police brutality often occurs in today's society, mostly in American countries. The cause is usually due to skin color, or people don't respect to the police. Even the number of deaths due to the police brutality has declined in recent years. We still need to stop police brutality and enact laws to protect people from harm. And that's all my presentation.
Hi, I'm Neil. Today I want to talk about freedom of the press. What is freedom of the press? It also called freedom of the media. It is the fundamental principle that communication and expression through various media, including printed and electronic media, especially published materials, should be considered a right to be exercised freely. Then we will compare and contrast between two different countries. The first one is set in late 1970 apartheid era South Africa. At that time, it's forbidden to tell the truth. Like, if people try to report the truth, they will be banned on the publication of newspapers and restrictions on personal freedom. Like Donald Woods, even though he's white, he's still being monitored and punished. The second one is set in period of martial law in 1951 in Taiwan. At that time, the government stopped registering new newspapers on the grounds of saving paper, since newspaper operations require government approval. The person in charge of the newspaper is often a member of Chinese Nationalist Party. In my opinion, I think freedom of the press is an important human right because Everyone has the right to know the truth and to tell the truth. And I think we need to cherish the freedom we have now because it's never granted. It is the result from so many people's efforts. So I think it's very precious. That's it. Thank you so much.